Whew, glad that's finally over.
Oh, hey! Nice job out there.
You too, Hilda. Good to see you back safe and sound. That was one close fight, huh?
You think so? I didn't even break a sweat.
Really? Well, I guess we did have the upper hand for most of it.
We sure did. And yet you still charged headfirst into the most contested part of the battlefield. You know, that's why you end up feeling like every battle is some huge ordeal. It's so unnecessary.
Whoa, hey now. Unnecessary? That's a little harsh. Someone has to get in there and turn the battle in our favor, even if it's dangerous.
I know, but why do you always have to be that someone? Living fast and loose is only gonna land you in an early grave.
Well, it's not like I'm trying to live like anything. This is just how mercenaries are. You can't distinguish yourself by hanging around in the back, and if you don't stand out, you don't get paid. People notice you if you do something showy on the front lines, and that can bring in the next job, you know?
You're basically commanding an entire army now? What does recognition matter at this point?
You're probably right. I guess I've just gotten so used to fighting like that, it's hard to change. Aren't there a bunch of mercenaries in Goneril territory? Pretty sure I've heard of a merc company stationed at the throat.
Yeah, we use mercenaries a lot when we're beating back the Almiran army.
Then I'm sure they're the same as me. Haven't you seen them going all hog wild, competing with each other up at the front?
I've never really fought with them, but I can imagine that they're way different from regular knights. My brother is always going on about how some guy from some mercenary company or other died fighting at his side.
No surprise there. The more a merc makes a show of themselves, the easier it is for the enemy to spot them.
Right? And that's exactly why I'm worried about you. You don't have to stress about grabbing attention and getting paid anymore. So just take it easy, okay? We don't want you dying before your time.
Yeah, okay. I'll keep that in mind. It's not like I have a death wish or something. I can't really change my fighting style overnight, but I'll try to keep the recklessness to a minimum. Don't worry. You know, I've never seen a noble worry so much about a mercenary. You just sit back and enjoy the show, all right?
Enjoy the show? Yeah, that sort of talk is so not making me feel any better. Hey, still alive?
Think it'd be pretty obvious if I wasn't. But yes, I'm back and all in one piece.
Well, that's a relief. However, I noticed your approach to battle hasn't changed one bit. You still charge to the front and dive right into the thick of it.
I was trying to be careful, but I guess it didn't really work.
Well, you are some kind of master soldier, right? I'm starting to think you might not get yourself killed after all.
Huh, so now you approve of my approach? Why the change of heart?
I realized that taking the lead and fighting at the front is exactly what my brother does.
True, and they say Holst is the bravest commander in all of Leicester.
Usually, the commanders stay in the back so they can see the whole battlefield and give orders. But not my brother. Honestly, he can't stand being back there. He has to be leading the charge. That's why I used to worry myself sick every time he went off to battle. But at some point, I'm not sure when, I became convinced that my brother would never die.
What made you think that?
I'm not sure. But it's not like there's anyone out there who can beat him, right? When I realized that, it just seemed like a waste of time to worry about him so much.
If anything, you should be pitying the chumps on the other side.
Precisely. And then I realized it's the same with you. You're just like my brother.
It's an honor to be put in the same category as Holst.
Now I know I'm wasting my time worrying about you, and it's not like I can stop you anyway. I actually hope you keep doing what you do, so I can take it easy in the back.
That's the plan. But I'm pretty sure I've seen you fighting up front with me recently. You even seem to be enjoying yourself.
Me? Enjoying myself? Please. If I'm fighting at the front, it's because I have no other choice. The whole time I'm fighting, I'm wishing I could be cheering everyone on from the sidelines instead. You know, yelling stuff like, "Smash 'em good!" and "Yeah, use those muscles!" That would really inspire our troops, right? And remember, this is me we're talking about.
Sure, you could motivate anyone.
I know, right? Next time, I'll cheer for you too. You'll see how inspiring it can be.
All right, sounds good. I'll keep an ear out. Hilda, did you get hurt at all?
Nope, I'm totally fine. I'm super glad we won that battle today.
Me too, but it was touch and go for a moment there. Make sure you're not overdoing it, okay?
Is that what it seemed like? I didn't think I was pushing myself at all.
I mean, you were way up in the front with me. Didn't you say you wanted to hang back and relax?
What can I say? When I saw you up there, I couldn't help but chase after you. Despite all that stuff I said, I guess I do still worry.
But I thought worrying about people like me was a waste of time.
Well, that's what I thought. But it turns out you and my brother are different after all.
So, what you're saying is... it's different because we're friends and he's family?
No, that's not it. My friends are just as important to me as my brother. Look at it this way. I could cheer for you till I'm blue in the face, but if I'm stuck all the way in the back, you won't even notice. And I'd lose track of you in all the commotion.
Yeah, I guess that's what would happen.
So, how am I supposed to cheer for you if I don't get up close?
But you weren't cheering. You were actually participating in the battle.
Hey, it's not my fault there were so many enemies up there. They forced my hand. I'd have been in danger if I hadn't fought back. I get the feeling that you have some kind of problem with me being so close by.
No, not at all. Why would I?
Glad to hear it. And this way, you get to see all my valiant deeds up close. You've got to be happy about that, right?
I'm not sure happy's the right word, but I'm definitely grateful for your help. You're pretty strong too, you know. You really are Holst's little sister. I can't think of anyone I'd rather have watching my back.
Oh, please don't say that. I can't handle that kind of responsibility. Our win wasn't because of me or anything. You know I'm basically a weakling, right?
After seeing what you can do, weakling isn't what comes to mind. But I guess you can seem shaky out there sometimes.
Exactly. So shaky. That's why it's up to you to make sure I'm perfectly safe during battles.
Of course I will. But aren't you supposed to be cheering me on so I don't die?
I'm obviously going to do that. And in exchange, you protect me. It'd be a little selfish of you to get all that encouragement for free, don't you think?
Right, if you say so. I think I've lost the thread of this conversation.
That's okay. The point is, we just gotta stick together and keep doing our best.
Whew, glad that's finally over.
Oh, hey! Nice job out there.
You too, Hilda. Good to see you back safe and sound. That was one close fight, huh?
You think so? I didn't even break a sweat.
Really? Well, I guess we did have the upper hand for most of it.
We sure did. And yet you still charged headfirst into the most contested part of the battlefield. You know, that's why you end up feeling like every battle is some huge ordeal. It's so unnecessary. I know you want to argue. I can see it in your eyes. Living fast and loose is only gonna land you in an early grave.
Well, it's not like I'm trying to live like anything. This is just how mercenaries are. You can't distinguish yourself by hanging around in the back, and if you don't stand out, you don't get paid. People notice you if you do something showy on the front lines, and that can bring in the next job, you know?
You're basically commanding an entire army now? What does recognition matter at this point?
You're probably right. I guess I've just gotten so used to fighting like that, it's hard to change. Aren't there a bunch of mercenaries in Goneril territory? Pretty sure I've heard of a merc company stationed at the throat.
Yeah, we use mercenaries a lot when we're beating back the Almiran army.
Then I'm sure they're the same as me. Haven't you seen them going all hog wild, competing with each other up at the front?
I've never really fought with them, but I can imagine that they're way different from regular knights. My brother is always going on about how some guy from some mercenary company or other died fighting at his side.
No surprise there. The more a merc makes a show of themselves, the easier it is for the enemy to spot them.
Right? And that's exactly why I'm worried about you. You don't have to stress about grabbing attention and getting paid anymore. So just take it easy, okay? We don't want you dying before your time.
It's not about getting paid anymore. Fighting that way is just a part of me now. But don't worry, I've got no plans to go out that easy. You know, I've never seen a noble worry so much about a mercenary. You just sit back and enjoy the show, all right?
Enjoy the show? Yeah, that sort of talk is so not making me feel any better. Hey, still alive?
think it'd be pretty obvious if I wasn't. But yes, I'm back and all in one piece.
Well, that's a relief. However, I noticed your approach to battle hasn't changed one bit. You still charge to the front and dive right into the thick of it.
I was trying to be careful, but I guess it didn't really work.
Well, you are some kind of master soldier, right? I'm starting to think you might not get yourself killed after all.
Huh, so now you approve of my approach. Why the change of heart?
I realized that taking the lead and fighting at the front is exactly what my brother does.
True. And they say Holst is the bravest commander in all of Leicester.
Usually, the commanders stay in the back so they can see the whole battlefield and give orders. But not my brother. Honestly, he can't stand being back there. He has to be leading the charge. That's why I used to worry myself sick every time he went off to battle. But at some point, I'm not sure when, I became convinced that my brother would never die.
What made you think that?
I'm not sure, but it's not like there's anyone out there who can beat him, right? When I realized that, it just seemed like a waste of time to worry about him so much.
If anything, you should be pitying the chumps on the other side.
Precisely. And then I realized it's the same with you. You're just like my brother.
It's an honor to be put in the same category as Holst.
Now I know I'm wasting my time worrying about you, and it's not like I can stop you anyway. I actually hope you keep doing what you do, so I can take it easy in the back.
That's the plan. But I'm pretty sure I've seen you fighting up front with me recently. You even seem to be enjoying yourself.
Me? Enjoying myself? Please. If I'm fighting at the front, it's because I have no other choice. The whole time I'm fighting, I'm wishing I could be cheering everyone on from the sidelines instead. You know, yelling stuff like, "Smash 'em good!" and "Yeah, use those muscles!" That would really inspire our troops, right? And remember, this is me we're talking about.
I don't know. I think all that yelling would only annoy some people.
You obviously haven't experienced my phenomenal cheering skills firsthand. Next time, I'll cheer for you too. You'll see how inspiring it can be.
All right, sounds good. I'll keep an ear out. Hilda, did you get hurt at all?
Nope, I'm totally fine. I'm super glad we won that battle today.
Me too. But it was touch and go for a moment there. Make sure you're not overdoing it, okay?
Is that what it seemed like? I didn't think I was pushing myself at all.
I mean, you were way up in the front with me. Didn't you say you wanted to hang back and relax?
What can I say? When I saw you up there, I couldn't help but chase after you. Despite all that stuff I said, I guess I do still worry.
But I thought worrying about people like me was a waste of time.
Well, that's what I thought. But it turns out you and my brother are different after all.
So what you're saying is... you don't think I can protect myself as well as Holst can?
No, I know you can take care of yourself. If anything, you've only grown tougher lately. Look at it this way. I could cheer for you till I'm blue in the face, but if I'm stuck all the way in the back, you won't even notice. And I'd lose track of you in all the commotion.
Yeah, I guess that's what would happen.
So, how am I supposed to cheer for you if I don't get up close?
But you weren't cheering. You were actually participating in the battle.
Hey, it's not my fault there were so many enemies up there. They forced my hand. I'd have been in danger if I hadn't fought back. I get the feeling that you have some kind of problem with me being so close by.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that, but, you know.
Now there's a vague answer if I've ever heard one. Aren't you happy you get to witness all my valiant deeds up close?
I'm not sure happy's the right word, but I'm definitely grateful for your help. You're pretty strong too, you know. You really are Holst's little sister. I can't think of anyone I'd rather have watching my back.
Oh, please don't say that. I can't handle that kind of responsibility. Our win wasn't because of me or anything. You know I'm basically a weakling, right?
After seeing what you can do, weakling isn't what comes to mind. But I guess you can seem shaky out there sometimes?
Exactly. So shaky. That's why it's up to you to make sure I'm perfectly safe during battles.
Look, if you really want me to keep you safe, then you should stick to the back.
But I just said that I can't cheer for you all the way back there.
Right, if you say so. I think I've lost the thread of this conversation.
That's okay. The point is, we just gotta stick together and keep doing our best.
We're beating the Empire in the smaller local battles, yes, but that barely puts a dent in their total power. We can fight all we want, but there's no defeating an army of that size. It may not be today or tomorrow, but that sea will swallow us up soon enough. Is it really responsible of me to keep letting the war drag on like this?
You okay there, Claude? Looks like you have something on your mind. You know, they say you'll get wrinkles if you keep your brow furrowed like that all the time.
Sounds like just the dignified look I need. People always tell me I'm not noble enough.
Oh, come on. Everyone knows young and lively is the way to be.
Really? It would sure be nice if the Round Table would propose strategies that are young and lively. They're all so conservative and selfish. I think a few lines here or there would actually help me fit in.
Really? You know what they say. If you're too set in your ways, it'll set on your face. So whatever you do, just make sure you don't end up some beady-eyed king with a face full of wrinkles.
I just can't win with you, can I?
I think you're missing the point, Claude. What I'm saying is, you should do what you think is right, with enough vigor to blow any creases clean off your face.
Hold on, do you even hear yourself right now? Who knows what would happen to the Alliance if I followed that advice?
You do have a point there. But at least you wouldn't have to worry about those pesky brow wrinkles anymore. And knowing you, Claude, I'm sure you'll find a way to break through this standoff.
You really do have me beat. I feel like you can see straight through me.
It's not hard when your thoughts are written so plainly on your face. All I have to do is read what's there.
Guess I'd better try scrubbing them off then.
As you should.
Honestly, Hilda, I don't know what to do. Is my way really the right path forward? It feels like I'm rejecting everything Lester used to be up until now. Like I'm tearing something important away from the people who need it most. Are you sure you won't regret lighting this fire in me?
I don't know. Maybe I will. I'll probably get mad at you at some point, too. But I know how hard you work to keep the Alliance heading in the right direction. You're the smartest leader we've ever had, Claude. If I was a betting girl, I'd say you're gonna come up with the best plan ever, without a doubt. Hey, Claude.
Oh, Hilda, what's up?
Ugh, don't ask. It's just been one meeting after another lately, and they all drag on forever.
What, bored of them already? Can't say I disagree with you there. But we've taken the Alliance in a brand new direction as the Lester Federation. Of course, not everything has to change, but the things that do need to get decided soon. So it's only natural we have so many meetings, right?
I know. But if you ask me, these are more of a hassle than any round table ever was. Honestly, Claude, I never thought you'd end up as our king. It's kind of weird, you know?
Well, I had a lot of opinions coming at me from all different directions, and this ended up being the solution I came up with. Hard times like these call for more than the Round Table was ever capable of. We need a fierce leader willing to face the world.
I get what you're going for, but having that leader be a king, I don't know, it makes me uncomfortable.
I get it. But trust me, everything I'm doing right now is what needs to be done.
Hey, Claude, is this really what you wanted? To be the king of Lester? You always struck me as the kind of guy who went wherever the wind took him, a free spirit. Someone who would find someone else to lead and nag them into taking the job. But right now, I get the feeling that your role and everything that comes with it are keeping you tied down.
No, I wanted to rule. I'm sure of that. But I didn't realize that's how you saw me.
Claude, you're not alone. We're here for you. Yet off you went, taking the throne all by yourself. Were we just getting in your way?
Of course not. It's honestly because I have you all that I was able to make that decision. I know I'd never be standing where I am now without the support each and every one of you has given me.
If that's true, then you shouldn't be so afraid to ask us for help. I'm more reliable than I look, you know.
Right. I'll be sure to take you up on that, Hilda. I mean, I did think I was already doing it, but I guess it wasn't enough.
Oh, definitely not. You've got a lot to learn from me, Claude. I'm practically an expert at relying on people for help.
Nobody tops you in that regard, that's for sure. I'd be honored to have you as my teacher.
And heave! Ugh.
Hello, Hilda. What are you doing?
Organizing our gear? What does it look like?
I know what it looks like, it just doesn't seem believable. But you working, I mean. You never do that.
Well, the person who's supposed to be doing it is hurt, so I agreed to pitch in and help out.
But you always have others do your work for you.
Okay, slow down, pal. It's not like I run around asking people to take on work for me. I just let them do it if they want to.
No matter the particulars of the process, the outcome is the same. Regardless, it's admirable of you to take the place of an injured comrade without begrudging them. Oh, and to be clear, I'm not here to help. I'm taking a well-earned break right now. Plus, you seem to have a handle on things yourself.
I haven't even asked you to help yet.
Not out loud, no, but your eyes tell a different tale.
Actually, I was thinking that if you had time for chit-chat, you had time to lend me a hand or two. But even I'm not enough of a jerk to ask a guy for help when he's on a break.
I am delighted you grasp the importance of rest. There are many out there who say the most unthinkable things on the subject. Oh, Linhart, you're on break? Perfect. Then you can help me with this awful whatever that I'm doing. Do they even understand the concept of downtime? Or is every waking moment merely a chance to increase their own productivity? Break time is for breaks.
You're speaking my language on that one. Although to be fair, your life seems to be one permanent break, so I see why somebody might say that to you.
Indeed. Sometimes they even claim I sleep too much, which is completely different from taking a break.
Wait, how is sleeping not a break?
Alas, how unfortunate. It appears you and I will not be able to reach common ground on this matter.
Laying it on a bit thick, aren't you?
That reminds me of something. Did I not see the injured comrade responsible for this storehouse hauling things at the goods depot this very morning?
Sure did. He said he wanted to help me out, so I asked him to take over.
At which point he promptly threw out his back and left this particular task to you. Yes, well, I now understand your reason for working. And with that, good night.
Ugh, that guy really bugs me sometimes. It's like he thinks he's better than me or something. I think this goes here.
Hello, Hilda. I see you're organizing the gear again?
Not such a rare sight anymore, is it?
Sadly for me, no.
Why? Sad you lost a fellow lazy bones?
Just so.
Wait, really?
Yes, but actually explaining it in detail will take far too much effort, so let's just leave it at that.
Okay, now I'm extra curious. I know all about your dirty secret, you know. About how you actually take charge and work when there's no one else to step up. So why do you keep playing the "I'm so lazy" card all the time?
I thought you of all people would understand this, Hilda. After all, are we not peers who work only when absolutely necessary? Even when you push your own work on someone else, you do so only after carefully assessing their situation.
I told you I don't push work on people. I mean, sure, maybe I maneuver myself so they end up asking to help, At which point I leap at the offer, but I never actually ask. But I suppose you're right that I always assess the situation first.
Previously, I said you and I would never be able to reach common ground. But now I see that I was mistaken.
You're sure quick to change your mind when it suits you.
I merely find it unfortunate seeing you working as you are now, when before you only ever did what was strictly necessary. If you've taken up the mantle of doing unnecessary work, it leaves me looking like the only idler.
And?
As such, I will offer you my assistance. Let's hurry up and finish here so we can rest that much sooner.
Wait, but why?
Just as I told you, it won't do me any good to be the only one not working around here.
Still not following.
I've grown terribly tired of talking. Must I explain?
I mean, I'm not gonna force you to explain, but I sure wish you would.
Oh, very well. But only because it benefits all parties involved. If you split your work with me, the work becomes easier. And by doing this easy work, I can then avoid being defamed as a common bed slug. If the pair of us both work a little more than before, things become easier for everyone. So let's both work hard together. A little.
All right. I mean, I guess that's good. Although I feel kind of like I'm being tricked somehow, so I'm not exactly happy about the whole deal.
Yes, yes. Let's just get this done already so I can return to a life of ease. I'm already sleeping.
It's nice to feel the breeze on your skin every once in a while.
Hey there, Hildy. How nice to run into you.
Same. So, what brings you here?
I had a craving for tea, so I came out here to pick some herbs.
Tea, huh? I might have to get in on that. Hey, is that a new bracelet? It's different from the one you wore yesterday, right?
Oh, this? Yes, a fan of mine gave it to me. She looked up to me as a songstress before she became a soldier, and by sheer coincidence, we ended up assigned to the same army. The fact that she still supports me even now makes me happier than I can say.
Yeah, getting a gift from a supportive fan must be a pretty great feeling. Looks valuable, too. She must really like you.
Yes, it is rather nice, isn't it?
Wish I had a big fancy bracelet I could swing around.
You wear all sorts of accessories, don't you, Hildy? Also makeup and the like. Why, there's no one better in the whole army when it comes to such things.
If that bar was any lower, it'd be rolling on the floor. Most folks here don't give fashion a second thought. Still, I like to make my own accessories based on current trends.
You make them yourself? That's amazing! Oh, and speaking of recent trends, I hear plants are the latest and greatest thing. Not flowers, mind, but complicated patterns such as ivy and vines.
That's right. I've been sort of obsessed with them lately. But the more elaborate I make them, the more delicate they are. I think a bracelet made like that would break too easily.
Ah, you have such dexterous fingers, Hildy.
That's sweet, but seriously, I'm not much of a craftswoman. Anyway, not to super abruptly change the subject, but what kind of makeup do you use? Are you all about the latest fashions, or do you tend to go more traditional?
Generally, I try to use those that are reputed to be good for the body. They say some cosmetics are actually quite unhealthy, which worries me.
I know what you mean, and you tend to not find out until it's way too late. I want to stay cute forever, so I've got to watch out for stuff like that and protect my skin.
Ugh, so true. But say, how about we continue this chat over some tea?
Are you kidding? I'd sit here and talk to you until the cows come home. Yeah, something's still not quite right here. Maybe the chest decoration is a little lonely? There's no way this accessory is good enough to sell in its current state.
Something wrong, Hildy?
Hey, Dorothea. Yeah, I'm actually trying to make a necklace, but it's not going well. I just can't shake that feeling. It's, I don't know, missing a little something, I guess. Anyway, I was just mulling over what I should do about it.
Oh, so this is one of your handmade accessories. I've wanted to see one for so long. Might I offer an opinion?
Oh, absolutely! Give me the brutal truth. I can handle it.
This is fine workmanship. Much more elaborate than the goods you can buy off a common tinker. Ah, the chain is patterned after a vine. Yes, I see. Forgive an amateurish opinion, but what if you were to add some leaves under this floral decoration? If there were a pattern that bridged the flower and the vines, that might lend it the special something you feel like you're missing.
You know what? That just might do it. Yeah! I think you're really onto something there, Dorothea. Thanks a million. I'll give it a shot.
I'm glad I could help.
Oh, but now I'm going to come to you whenever I'm in a pickle about how to fix an accessory, you know.
I would be delighted. Say, do you have any interest in actually selling the items you make?
Huh? Wait, you think I could sell them?
As I said earlier, you rarely see goods of this quality. They could, for example, be used by an opera troupe.
Like the Middle Franc Opera Company?
Exactly. Stage costumes use all manner of accessories and ornamentations, you know. And once they're seen in such a setting, nobles from near and far will be clamoring to buy them.
Dorothea, I love you. I'm so happy I could scream. Actually, maybe we could keep the spirit of our newfound cooperation going. See, someday I actually want to open a school for craftspeople who make accessories like mine. And since you used to work at the opera company, maybe you could help me with the whole businessy side of things. I mean, opera people are pretty good with accessories and stuff, right? So, what do you think?
That's wonderful, Hildy. Oh, what ideas you think of! There are few jobs retired opera members can get, which was always a source of worry for the company. So let's definitely return to this conversation in the near future, all right?
Oh, I am so glad I met you, Dorothea.
I will need to settle this matter post-haste.
Hey, Lawrence. What's wrong? If that frown was any lower, it'd be falling off your face.
Ah, hello, Hilda.
Have you been sleeping enough? Your body can't survive off grumbling and worry, you know.
I appreciate the concern, but I'm afraid I have no choice in the matter. Between the two of us, it appears as though my father is preparing to pass down the title of Count to me. As such, I must find a suitable partner to be my wife. It is an issue of utmost urgency.
Yeah, that does sound like a lot. Is that why you look so crabby? I don't know, though. I don't think you need to worry. I'm sure you'll find the right person in no time.
If only I had your confidence. The conditions for marrying into the distinguished House Gloucester are quite strict indeed. My partner must not only be willing to live alongside me as a proud noble, but share in the responsibilities that house leadership entails. I hope I can find such an ideal woman. But how is the situation in House Goneril?
My house?
Your father has chosen Holst to carry on the family name, has he not? He will soon receive the title to the house, if that is to go by. I was simply wondering what course of action you were planning to take once that happens.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the stuff my brother's up to doesn't really have much to do with me. If I had to pick, maybe I'd go traveling? I've always wanted to see the world. I'll go all over the place, taking in the sights, eating the best food Fodlan has to offer. Obviously not till the war's over and everything's cooled off, though.
Traveling, Quite an unexpected answer. Though I must say, earning permission from your father or Holst will be no easy feat. Grand adventures such as those are fraught with danger at every turn. I can only imagine the perils you might face with disease or scornful local lords. If you'd like my opinion, I believe settling down and pursuing a life of leisure much better suits your carefree personality.
Maybe, but there's a time and place for everything, you know? I can travel first, then spend my days relaxing later. And besides, Holst and my dad both spoil me rotten, so I don't think convincing them's going to be too big a deal. Oh, but I probably shouldn't go anywhere that gets too hot or too cold. Extremes aren't really my thing.
In that case, I know the prime location. There is a wonderful little place within Leicester borders, with boundless forests and crystal blue rivers and the most exquisitely comfortable climate. It's also rather close to Goneril territory, so your family will be able to rest at ease.
Let me guess. Is it Gloucester?
You're quick to catch on. It is one and the same, Hilda.
Thought so. I guess I wouldn't mind adding it to the itinerary. How you feeling, Raphael? Everything healing up?
Hey, Hilda. Yeah, I'm fine. This is nothing.
Well, that's good to hear. Still, don't go pushing yourself too hard, okay?
You know it. Thanks for looking out for me.
You really were incredible out there today, you know? I mean, even if you did get sort of reckless at times. It kind of reminded me of my brother, actually.
What? Holst? Well, I sure appreciate you saying so, but I'm nothing compared to that guy. He's strong as an ox, a master of every single weapon, and has muscles bulging out of his other muscles. His workout routine must be the stuff of legend. I'd give anything to be like him.
Yeah, he trains literally all the time. It's no surprise the two of you get along like a house on fire.
I also appreciate how much he values his family.
Yeah? Because I sure don't.
Aw, don't say that. He's just being a good big brother who's looking out for his little sis. In fact, the last time we met up, we had a great time swapping stories about our sisters.
Wait, so you were talking about me? Ugh, I really hope he didn't say anything weird.
It wasn't weird at all. We were just chatting about how cute our sisters look when they sleep. See, when she was little, my sis couldn't fall asleep unless I tucked her in, and we had a nice chat. And at some point, while we were talking, whoosh, out like a candle. It was adorable. Then Holst told stories about when you were little. Said you whined a lot.
Stop, stop, stop! I'm not interested in stories about myself, and especially not stories like that. This is all unbelievably embarrassing, so let's just bury the whole conversation in the world's deepest hole and pretend it never happened.
It's not embarrassing. It's nice. Anyway, I eventually told Holst how sad and lonely I was to be living apart from my sister now. And he said he's sad he never gets to work with you, even though you're in the same army. And we ended the conversation by promising to always keep our sisters safe, no matter what.
You promised each other? Oh, I swear my brother is always like this. What if he gets even more overprotective now that he has you for a big brother buddy?
Holst is overprotective? Huh. I never got that impression.
Well, he's better than he used to be. I mean, at least I don't have to send him constant letters now. Still, according to what Balti told me, Holst apparently said, and I quote, "I will be the one to decide if her future husband is good enough."
That's so funny. My sister's gonna call the shots on who I marry, too. She told me so.
Wow, our situations could not be more different.
Huh? When did I fall asleep? Hey, where did my glasses go? Oh gosh, where did I put them?
Who's that guy? Hey there. Did you need something, sir?
Huh? Is that you, Hilda?
You sound like... Wait. Ignatz? Is that you?
Yes, but why didn't you... Oh, right, the glasses.
I totally couldn't recognize you without them. So what happened to your specs?
Well, I fell asleep on that chair over there a little while ago, and when I woke up, they were gone. I must have set them down before I napped, but I can't remember where I put them.
You must have been really tired to do that. Want some help looking for them?
Yes, thank you.
They must be around here somewhere. I'm sure the two of us will find them in no time. So what's the world look like without your glasses, Ignatz?
Well, everything's blurry, for starters. And even if someone I know is standing right next to me, I can barely see their face. Sometimes I just think they're a lamp or something like that.
Yikes. That's worse than I thought. We'd better find them before you stumble into a moat or something. Do you really not remember where you put them?
No, sorry. I guess I was too tired and took them off without thinking about it.
Aha! Here they are. They must have fallen through the gap there.
Thank you so much, Hilda.
You're very welcome. I'm just glad we found them. You look like a totally different person without those things, you know?
I do?
Yeah, even once I recognized your voice, it still took my brain a little bit to catch up. It was weird, you know? I felt like I was alone in the room with some mysterious stranger.
Sorry about that.
Still, he doesn't look half bad without them. I mean, I think your glasses suit you, Ignatz. So make sure not to lose them again, okay?
I'll try to be more careful.
Hey, Lysithia. Taking a little break?
Ah, Hilda. Yes, I reached a good stopping point in my latest magical research.
Wow, your dedication to that is really something else. Still, it's break time. Do you want to chat?
All right.
Yes! Okay, hit me with your best gossip.
Well, I heard Holst took quite the active role in our last battle. Your brother is such a valiant warrior. There truly is no end to the tales of his mighty victories.
Yeah, I guess. Though honestly, I care more about him coming home alive and in one piece. He's the head of House Goneril now, so he shouldn't be running around like he's got lives to spare.
With this war going, I doubt he has much choice. All the other nobles are relying on him. We are all envious you have such a powerful and upstanding head of your house. Your land should be in good hands for many years to come.
Speaking of years to come, I haven't heard anything about who the big lug is gonna marry. I mean, it's possible he just hasn't found anyone he likes, but that only makes me more worried.
Perhaps he'd have time to look if he wasn't so concerned about you.
Oh well, he's popular enough with the ladies, so I'm sure he'll be fine. What about you, Lysithia? I haven't heard anything about you inheriting your family's title. Or being involved with a special someone.
Involved? No. I'm simply making my own way as best I can.
Oh, you shouldn't have to do that. What about your family? I'm sure they'd give you a shoulder to lean on.
My parents have already been through a great deal. I don't want to be more of a burden.
Well then, how about me?
What do you mean?
Well, since I don't have to take over House Goneril, my schedule's clear for, pretty much forever. And that means I've got time to help a cutie like you with whatever. I can be your second family.
Right. The thing is, I'm not sure I could do that. Ask you for help, I mean.
Well, it's not like you have to suddenly dump everything on me all at once. We can take it slow. Baby steps and all that.
I'm not following.
Okay, so if we're gonna be our own little family, the first thing we do is try living like one. Maybe we could bunk together, or just... What are you doing, Hilda? You're such a hard worker, Lysithia. And I just wanted you to know how proud I am of you. And since I'm your big sister now, you can count on me for anything. I mean it, okay? Anything.
You're treating me like a child. But I suppose I could get used to it.
You're such a cutie. I can't stand it.
I know you're a clever girl, Hilda, and you just had some bad luck this time. But even if you delegate the job to another, the ultimate responsibility still lies with you, so you need to be careful.
I know. I'm sorry.
Then take that responsibility and finish this. Though this much is going to be difficult alone. Ah, Marianne, come here.
Of course. What do you need?
I want you to help Hilda.
Alright. I can do that.
Thank you. Now get to it, you two.
Boy, you really blew it this time, Hilda. This isn't like you at all. Sorry you got dragged into this, Marianne.
No, it's alright. So, what should I do?
Could I ask you to organize all the weapons and armor here by type? I'm going to start with separating the useful stuff from the broken stuff. I was apparently supposed to put each category of item into a different box and take them all to storage. But the message got lost somewhere along the way, which is why everything's now in this giant pile.
I understand.
How are you doing over there, Marianne? What the? This is even worse than before!
Yes, I'm sorry. I tried to be very specific with how I separated things, but it got a bit out of hand.
Hilda, Marianne, I'm coming to check on your progress, and I had better be impressed.
Oh shoot! She's coming! Quick, shove all of this stuff under a rug or something!
Ladies, correct me if my eyes are mistaken, but this is in even worse shape than when I first left.
I'm sorry, Judith. It's all my fault. I had everything arranged just like you wanted, but then, whoops, I tripped and crashed into the pile and everything sort of went everywhere.
I see. Hilda, when I told you to take responsibility for your tasks, I didn't mean you had to burden yourself with absolutely everything.
Right, got it. I'll definitely be more careful.
Well, why don't the two of you take a short break? This mess clearly isn't going anywhere.
I'm so sorry, Hilda. This is all my fault.
Don't worry about it. I mean, it's actually my fault in the first place, you know? Come on, let's go take that break. I need a cup of tea in a bad way.
All right. Thank you, Hilda.
Marianne? Ah, Marianne! There you are. I thought you'd be in the chapel.
I went to pray earlier than usual today.
You're really committed to this whole praying every single day thing, aren't you?
Oh no, it's nothing so grand. And besides, praying to the goddess daily on behalf of my friends is really all I'm good for.
Okay, stop. Seriously? You're amazing, Marianne. There's a ton of stuff you do that no one else could possibly handle.
I suppose so.
Yeah? Well, I know so.
Hilda? Why are you always so nice to me?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, you have so many other close friends. Yet you always seem to go out of your way to show me kindness and decency. You even took responsibility when Judith was about to berate me during our armor sorting escapade.
Yeah, I guess I did, huh? I totally forgot about that.
Yes, and I have wondered ever since why you did such a thing.
It's no big deal. I guess I just wanted to be nice. Seriously, Marianne, you're the best, and having you around makes my life a lot easier. So just consider it my way of saying thanks for all the times you helped me out.
I've helped you?
Absolutely! You're my emotional support. You're always around when I need a shoulder to cry on or somebody to listen when I get all mad. You always know the exact right thing to say, and then you smile at the end of it and it's like, I don't know, it makes me all warm inside. You do all that little stuff without even thinking of it, and it really keeps me going.
I never thought of it like that. I had no idea you found me helpful. If anything, I thought you considered me a burden. Thank you, Hilda. Your words, they mean a lot to me. And I will do my best to support you in all the days yet to come.
There's that smile. You never fail to brighten my day, Marianne.
Anyone here? Oh, Hilda! Perfect!
I am, aren't I? Now, what do you need?
I was thinking about getting another round of practice in, but I need a partner. And here you stand. So what do you say?
What? But it's so late!
Yes, but I just thought up a fantastic move, and I need to try it out or I'll never be able to sleep.
Yeah, but I've already bathed, and I really don't want to get all sweaty and gross again.
Wait, is that you? You smell amazing.
I know! I use floral oils. I've got a whole bunch of them, and I mix and match based on the situation or just, you know, mood.
Wow, that's impressive.
I bet you're wondering why I go to all that trouble, right? Well, scent is very important. One whiff of something nice can turn a person's entire day around.
I get that, but I don't really think it's for me. I'm always training or hunting or something, and the constant sweat would probably wash it right off.
Which is exactly why you should use floral scents. Then you'll smell like a delightful bouquet and not some kind of hog farmer. I mean, you're cute already, but you could be the whole package if you just leaned into it.
You think I'm cute? No one's ever said that to me before. Or anything even remotely like it, actually.
You know what? Let's just do it! to my tent. That's where I keep the stash.
I really don't think this is for me.
Oh, don't be silly. It is absolutely for you.
No, really. Besides, I have to go practice that move.
Well, too bad. But I'll come find you tomorrow, okay? Oh, this is so exciting!
Wait, I don't think I actually agreed to anything. Never mind. I'm leaving. Bye.
Yup, just a little bit of effort and she'll really be the whole package.
I don't know about this. Did I use too much? I don't not like it, but I'm also not sure it smells good, exactly.
Hey, Leonie, what are you... Wait. Oh, you wore the oil! You smell so good! Mm.
It's amazing you noticed so quickly. Still, it smells different from the one you were wearing the other day. Did I do it right?
Oh, for sure. And yeah, that's a scent I whipped up specifically for you. I mean, I could have just given you one of mine. But I knew there was a scent out there that would suit you perfectly, so I tried all sorts of different things to make the perfect Eau de Leonie. That's for you and only you. It's the only one like it in the entire world.
That feels so... fancy. And while I appreciate all the trouble you went through to make it, I still don't think it's for me. I'm sorry. I feel so bad about all of this.
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, sure, it's the only one like it in the world, but it's not actually valuable or anything. I just wanted to put my heart into making something specifically for you. I think you're really special. So I wanted you to have something special. Oh my gosh, it sounds like I'm proposing to you or something. Anyway, you get the idea, right?
Well, in that case, maybe I'll just wear it on special occasions.
That would be great. Oh, hey, there's actually something I've been wanting to try with my oils. Think you could help me out?
I can't very well say no after all that.
Yes! Okay, so here's the plan. First, you and I each wear a different scent at the same time. Then, when we're out together, they'll mix and create an even better scent.
Huh. That's actually a pretty clever idea, Hilda.
I know, right?
Then again, I'm not sure how I feel about the idea of our scents intermingling.
Then just don't think about it.
Too late. It's all I can think about now, and it definitely feels weird. Yep, weird's the word.
Well, now I feel weird. But you're still gonna help me out, right?
You know what? Sure. I'm kind of curious to see how all this plays out.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Is that you back there, Hilda?
Yeesh, Holst, you scared me. How did you even know I was here?
I strive to keep my mind sharp and clear at all times. How then could I not recognize the presence of my own dear sister? It's a feat anyone can accomplish with good, honest training. You should try it sometime.
Honest training isn't really my forte. Same goes for our regular drills. If no one's making me do it, not a chance I'll even bother.
Ha! That's because you have the makings of a first-class prodigy. Even without putting in any hard work, your talent shines bright. But now that we're both here, why not train with me? It'll be just like old times.
You mean like how you used to carry me on your back while you were doing push-ups? No thanks. That was fun when I was little, but it'd be incredibly embarrassing now.
That's a shame.
By the way, Holst, how long are you planning on sticking around with us?
As long as I can. It'd be a hassle coming out here every time a roundtable meeting was called, after all. But I'll have to return home at once if Almyra starts showing any signs of mischief.
Uh-huh. So the fact that your little sister is here has nothing to do with you being here?
Not pleased with my answer, eh? I thought you hated when I admit to being overprotective. But yes, of course, you're the biggest reason why I'm here. I can keep you safe so long as you're close. Additionally, I must be on hand to punish any scoundrels who attempt to woo you.
Yeah, I don't love that part. It's not just scoundrels who are terrified to approach me now. Still, he's thinking about my well-being, so I guess that feels pretty good.
But there's actually another reason why I'm here.
Oh yeah?
The opportunity to cross swords with a warrior like Count Burgles doesn't often present itself. True valor is only polished in life or death battle, with the most powerful fighters. Just thinking of how I may one day encounter these veterans makes me tremble with anticipation.
Of course it does. So, that's the real biggest reason. I probably should have guessed.
No, don't get me wrong, Hilda. It goes without saying that the most important thing in my entire life is the well-being of my beloved sister.
Yeah, whatever you say. Good luck with the training.
Wait, I beg of you, wait! My dear Hilda, come back! Yes, that should do quite nicely. And how are you faring, Hilda?
Already over here. I couldn't make any fancy dishes, but since we're just throwing this thing together in our spare time, folks will just have to deal with it.
Exactly. The quality of the food isn't the point of a feast like this. It's about sharing a celebration over our recent victory.
You had quite the showing out there in the battle, my lord. There is no one in the entirety of Fodlan that can hope to best you.
I wholeheartedly agree. It would be my great honor to have even a modicum of your skill one day.
But my power alone did not win the day, friends. This victory belongs to us all.
Holst really is incredible. I mean, despite what he says, he basically won the last battle all by himself, which makes him the man of the hour, again. He's earnest, hardworking, and full of talent. The opposite of me in every way.
Now, let's get started. Today, we feast in honor of a person who was instrumental in our victory. My sister, Hilda Valentine Goneril.
Huh?
My lady, I thank you on behalf of all my soldiers. We'd not be here now if it weren't for your quick thinking and deft action.
There are no words to express all that you and your brother have done for us. Huzzah!
Okay, what's going on? I thought you were the guest of honor at this little get-together, Holst.
Whatever do you mean? This feast is all about celebrating your actions in our last battle.
But I didn't do anything. I just ran to the front line, hacked a few guys, and then pulled back.
At which point you saw an enemy giving chase and laid him low, yes? Are you aware that person was the enemy commander? The moment you dispatched him, his forces crumbled. We then pressed the attack and enjoyed swift victory as a result.
Really? He didn't seem very impressive. I mean, the guy went down in one hit. How tough could he have been?
It sounds like you still don't know just how strong you are.
Your brother aside, there is no one in House Goneril who could stand against you, my lady.
Hear, hear! We all rely on you and will continue to do so into the future!
Not gonna lie, it was great having everybody shower me with compliments, but I still want to know why you threw a feast for me in the first place. You could have just patted me on the back and told me good job, and I would have been happy.
You're always putting me on a pedestal, Hilda, but you never appreciate your own accomplishments. I want you to be prouder of yourself. I want your degree of pride to match your level of strength. Also, I want everyone to know how great you are. That's why we had the feast. A shame it was so small, but the next one will be a true banquet.
And who's going to put that together, considering I basically did all the prep for this one?
Well, if I can get the ingredients together, I'll treat you to my specialty next time.
Isn't your specialty made from whatever you find lying by the side of the...
Look forward to it, dear sister.